Everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It is Saturday night, the best night of the week. The only night of the week that I come on, and I didn't come on this morning. So it's the one day out of the week I take a little break. So good evening, everybody. Looks like Princess Megan Elsa's here. Sugar and Spice, I saw that she might be here. She might be in and out. Susan Dodge, hello. Isabel, hello. Leslie, Proud Mama too. Got some people in the chat. Leo Girl, hi everybody. Hopefully everybody is having a great Saturday. Hopefully you guys were more productive than I was. I haven't done anything today other than I did a lot of stuff for the live. I did a spreadsheet and all kinds of stuff, like a timesheet and all kinds of stuff for you guys. So I was busy doing that. And then I read over the probable cause probably 14 times today. So I've been doing that. Hi, Fotina. I think I said that right. Fotina. I like that name. That's cute. Let me get this off the screen over here. This is going to bother me all night, if not. So welcome to my live. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, hi, welcome. My name's Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. I don't prefer one over the other. As you guys are coming in, if you would please hit that like button, it does help. It does help send it out into the algorithm. That way more people can enjoy it. Also, if you appreciate today's case coverage, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel because it's just fun to do and it's free to do. And I am going to actually just switch them. I had to switch, so I am going to put it on subscriber only mode in the chat, but it's for any duration, so it doesn't matter. It's just any duration. That way, since it's Saturday night, we don't have a lot of bots coming in and just taking over our chat because it's just me. But I did switch the live from this morning. So I had a live going. I was going to do my live tonight over Dylan and if Bryan had seen Dylan that night of the murders, but I switched it up on you guys because I switch things up a lot. So I switched it up for us. So it's a little, it is a little different. So, but it's better, I feel like. And so tomorrow I was going to have that live. And then I realized, wait, Tanya, tomorrow is Bryan Eaton's special report that I wanted to watch with you guys. So for News Nation. So we're going to scoot all that to Monday, like the Dylan and stuff. So it won't be a big deal. It's nothing that we're not missing anything really, really big with it. I just wanted to go over it. So, and the floor plan and stuff like that. Because I found some really good 3D animations to show you guys. So we'll do all that on Monday morning. And then tomorrow we'll do Bryan Eaton. I wanted to let you guys know that though before I started. Also, if you want to join our channel membership, I will put it in the chat really quick. I'll put the link in the chat. That way you can join. We have a good group going so far. Let's see. I have been doing I've been streaming like a live count every night that we've been on. So we'll start tonight and I just show you guys before we start the live. And then throughout the live, I might pull it up if I remember. But we are at 3368 right now. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. That way you guys get another giveaway. We get to do another giveaway. So with that being said, I think that we can pull that off pretty quickly. Let me see. What did I want to go over first? Okay. Let me pull up. I'm going to pull up the probable cause, but I'm not reading nothing on it. Not yet, anyway. I wanted to show you guys something. And I wanted to get your take on this. So has everyone seen the probable cause affidavit that came out? I'm pretty sure everyone on YouTube has covered it. I think everybody's read it on YouTube. It's either been read to them or, something like along those lines. And I can blow it up. But so in the probable cause, the second page in the probable cause. So if you're going down like the first page here, it says redacted. It says page 1 and then it says redacted in blue. And then this whole page here is just blank. And then at the bottom, it has redacted, but it's like the opposite way. And then no number. And then right here, they do have a redacted name. So then you go to the second page that has so this would be the third page. So you've got the second blank page, And then this would be your third page. Well, this is number 2. So in my mind, I'm thinking that we're not missing a whole page, that we're not missing a whole page of information. I don't think we're missing a page at all. I think for some reason, this just got like maybe photocopied in here. I don't know. I really don't know how it happened, but there's no page number. So do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, so if it was a redacted page, it would still have the page number. It should still say page 2 because page 2 was still there, but it's just redacted now. What do you guys think of that? Oh, really? All the 48 hours is? Ooh, I bet that's going to be good. We'll have to see where we're at that time and see where I'm at mentally, physically. I bet you that's going to be good. I love 48 hours. So yeah, so I don't know. I think that this isn't a redacted page. I feel like this is just, I think it's just a page that was photocopied or something in there. I don't have any explanation for it. So maybe, I thought maybe one of you guys might. But like I said, it doesn't have a page number on there. So it's not like it's page 2. Cause I figured that out the hard way today. I went to print page 3 again and it printed like page 4. And I was like, I was really confused. So that's why I was asking. I thought maybe I'd ask you guys and see what you guys thought on that. Because they've been really good about not like, leaving anything out. And that would have to be like a whole page of redacted stuff. Like, I mean, usually if they redact something as like a name or it'll be like a place. If it's like a whole page, you would think it would be like, I don't know. I don't know what it would be. But I wanted to tell you that. So also, before we get into what I was going to tell you guys about too. So have you guys heard that BTK? Okay, so BTK's daughter came forward the other day. We did a live and we did it live on it. We went over it in the live anyway. Dennis Rader, BTK, is bind, torture, killer, or I shouldn't say, unaliver. But his name is Dennis Rader. Well, they were saying that his daughter came out and even said, like, yeah, it's possible that Bryan could have, tried to talk to my father, who is in prison because he's a serial killer. And she said it's because, they had both fell in teachings with like the same. So his teacher was Dennis Rader's autobiographer. So she wrote the book on Dennis Rader, and she taught Bryan Kohberger a criminology class. So he came forward. I mean, when you think of it, and I mean, I guess I'm gonna take his word for it. And I never thought I'd say that, but I guess I'm taking Dennis Rader's word for this. But he is saying that he never spoke to Bryan Kohberger. Like when I heard that someone even insinuated that he spoke to him, I was like, that just sounds ridiculous. But we've heard other things that are, I mean, I don't know, we've heard it all. I felt like we hear it all on this channel. I think the organization framed him for not paying his dues. So it says the BTK unaliver, I should probably say unaliver, but has axed rumors he was in contact with accused quadruple killer Bryan Kohberger. No on Kohberger all around. The convicted serial killer, whose real name is Dennis Rader, told TMZ in a response to a query about whether he had connected with the 28-year-old accused murder of 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho. Sorry, I was going to say Indiana. Idaho. Kohberger, who was arrested on December 30th at his parents' home in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, had previously studied under forensic psychologist and true crime writer Catherine Ramsland while attending DeSales University in Central Valley, Pennsylvania. Ramsland is the author of 69 books, wrote a headline making uppus about the BTK, bind, torture, kill, killer in collaboration with her subject, who Okay, can you guys hear me now? Let me see. Yeah, that's better. I don't know where, yeah, I don't know what, okay. I don't know what happened there. I literally was just reading and then it just, okay, do you guys know where I was? I don't want to have to read all that over again to you, but I don't even know where it went wrong. Because I was reading, so I was on a different page, so I wasn't even like looking at the chat or anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this over again really, really quick. The killer BTK pretty much, okay, I'm just going to give you the rough version up here. So BTK had come out and said that he has not had contact with Bryan Kohberger at all. Dennis Rader is who I'm talking about when I talk about BTK. He is that the unaliver that was around in the 1970s. He was around from 1974 to 1991, unaliving 10 people, and he's serving 10 life sentences for it. They are connected through Kohberger's teacher, Dr. Ramslin, and Dr. Ramslin, or I'm sorry, I think it's Dr. Ramslin. I think she's a doctor. She wrote a book, an autobiography on Dennis Rader. So that's how they're connected. So Dennis Rader's daughter came out and said, hey, like, I think that there's a possible connection with my dad and this new, Idaho 4 killer. So that's where I was that's where I kind of stopped reading or was reading. And I realized that I wasn't even connected. And good thing Vincent came in and told me. It says, she suggested that her father could have contacted or had an influence on Kohberger, considering that Ramslin had been his teacher. Rader admitted that this theory wasn't all that far-fetched. Now, this is my thing. Does anyone think that he's just trying to get, like, some more notoriety, like Dennis Rader? Like, just go back to your jail cell, buddy. Like, because no one's talked about him. I mean, we talk about him, but it's like in passing kind of now, he's not like a big name. And I feel like he's like, yeah, he could have been studying me. Yeah, I feel like he could have studied me. I don't think that he studied Dennis Rader. I just personally don't. I mean, he might have like watched like serial killer shows and stuff, but I really don't even feel like he really studied serial killers like that. Obviously he didn't, because he left his DNA all over the place. He said, I thought someone may have studied me, he told TMZ. The killer praised Idaho law enforcement for capturing the suspect, but went on to whine to the outlet about his hardships. My family don't communicate with me at all. I love them all very much and would be happy if one did. Kohberger, who faces first-degree murder charges and could wind up on death row, appeared in Idaho court this week. Yeah, so did you guys hear about him actually coming, like the actual killer coming forward and saying, like Dennis Rader, that killer, BTK coming forward and saying, no, I haven't talked to him. Because I didn't even hear about this until today. Is it the 7th? Okay, so it's the 7th, so that's why. This is our first time talking today, that's why. But it's like, I cannot believe that I'm looking at the New York Post right now, and he's like, and the headline is Dennis Rader again. And they're like, no, it wasn't me. Just think that, I just find that very, I don't know, very overwhelming. So I did have a couple things I wanted to go over with you guys. And then, actually, should we watch this first? We're going to watch this first, and then we'll go over my stuff. Let me see. Actually, maybe we'll go over half of it, and then, because I only have, I have 2 things in the probable cause I want to go over with you guys. It's nothing long, but it's really important, I feel like, maybe. So I want to get your guys' opinion on it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to, and I think I can actually pull it up. Let me see. Let me see how I can do this. Can you guys see that okay? Oops. Why is it doing that? I don't know why it won't let me like go over, but it won't. So I'm gonna just make it bigger. Trying to make it to where you guys can see it a little better. But I don't think it's gonna let me. I think that's like all it's gonna let me do. Okay. Anyways, that's okay. I can read it to you guys. Let me see, actually. I wonder if I can do it behind me. Hey, Lady Justice. Let me see if I can, because I did have this where I could put it behind me. Okay, let me see. We're just going to have to do it this way, that way that we had it. Thanks for being so patient, guys. I really appreciate that. I want to make sure I can like present this to you the best way. Okay, well, this is my timeline, but it looks awfully small. There's no happy medium here. There, maybe. I'm trying to find that happy medium for all of us, but actually, okay. So I went ahead and I wanted to do a timeline of the events of what happened in the home compared to like, you know, and then I went ahead and I just branched off of this. So I was only going to do the Idaho 4 timeline of events on November 13th, but then I started down a rabbit hole. So we're going to start with this, and then the stuff that I found out about the, like his vehicle, Bryan Kohberger's, and where it was traveling and how far it traveled and where it traveled. I mean, out of state, Washington, Idaho. I mean, it was everywhere that day. So I wanted to go through that. So then I was like, well, I'll just do a timeline. And then I did a timeline on him, and then I just kept continuing it. So I wanted to show you guys this first. I wanted to be able to bring up... So I wanted to be able to bring up the probable cause affidavit, but I'm just going to read it to you guys. Or maybe, actually, I'll read it first. Because I have these even color coordinated for you guys. If I can find them. Of course. Where did they go? Okay. Oh, wow, I actually did that. That was the right page. I can't believe I actually got the right page on the first time. Because I didn't mark these. I'm going to see how this looks for you guys. And then if not, we're just going to keep going. Okay. I think that's a little too much there. So I highlighted everything according to like my madness. So the blue is going to be Ethan and Zaina, and then the pink is going to be Maddie and Kaylee, and then the green is going to be what Dylan witnessed. So it says on the and then I believe like all this is like correct and everything. I just wanted to go through it with you guys, and then I'll pull up the timeline that I made. But on the evening of November 12th, Chaplin and Coronado are seen by Bethany at Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus. at 735 Nez Perez Drive from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. Bethany also estimated, that at approximately 1:45 a.m., Chaplin and Coronado returned to the King Road residence. So we know that for a fact now that, and I want to talk this out with you guys because I feel like whenever I talk it out with people, it makes more sense. So let me know if this makes more sense to you guys if we talk it out. But so they were at Sigma Chi House on that evening. So they were there from 9 p.m. to about 1:45. Maddie, and then it says, Maddie and Kaylee were at a local bar, the Corner Club, in Moscow, Idaho. And then they were seen on video footage at the leaving the Corner Club. They were there at the Corner Club between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. And then approximately 1:30, Kaylee and Maddie can be seen on video at a local food vendor called The Grub Truck in downtown Moscow. The Grub Truck live streams video from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch. So it was available for us to look at. So we were able to look at that pretty early on and know that was, that was a fact. But I like that they put that in there. And then they did put that they made it home at approximately 1:56 from downtown Moscow. So they were home at 1:56 and Ethan and Zaina got home at 1:45. And then I'll show you the chart I have after this. And then it says, which DM and BF are the other two roommates, if you guys weren't aware, but they both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. So they were all home at 2. They all probably, gathered around the kitchen or wherever, and they just dispersed into their bedrooms around 4 p.m. and they are shortly before 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. I'm sorry, 4 a.m. That way they were able to have time to, maybe fall asleep or get into bed and have that time to actually get into bed. This is the exception of, Zaina, though, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at 4 a.m., which law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. Also, if you guys remember seeing the bag of food in the kitchen the same evening, this makes me think that she went to the kitchen at some point in the night to throw the food away, or at least sit it on the counter. So she didn't throw it away, she sat it on the counter. So she at least went to do that. Do you guys think that could be where and when she encountered Bryan? Or the suspect that did this, allegedly? We're going to say it's Bryan, but allegedly. The only leaked audio that I've seen and I've heard of is the TikTok leaked audio, and that I have not seen proven in anything. So I can't. That's the only leaked audio I know of. So let me know if you guys know of anything else. I know of the body cam audio and stuff too. Let me get the other. I have to pull it up page by page. So. Well, maybe these will be in order at least. That would be nice. Looks like it. Where should I put these? I've got a mess going, guys. And then I started writing notes on here, so that's why there's a little note on there, but I'm going to read that to you guys anyway, so. Just want to make sure it pulls up. Okay. It says, DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. And does everyone know where she was sleeping at? I can always pull it up if anyone needs me to. But DM stated that she awoke at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Gonzalez say, that's Kaylee, say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Coronato's, which is Zaina's phone, showed this could also been Zaina, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. So I put this note here, so I'll ask you guys. So are they saying here that it sounds to me like they're saying that Kaylee's phone was active around 4 a.m. the same time as Zaina's phone was active? Because if, DM or, the roommates are coming forward and the roommate came forward and said, hey, I thought I heard Kaylee. And they said, hey, it could have been Zaina because she was awake at 4:12. Or do you think that maybe Kaylee was, they think, asleep? Oh, thank you, Storm Drain. I appreciate that. And then I had another note on here too, because it's for this next part. So this next part, this has got me shook. DM stated she looked out her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Zaina's room. DM then said she heard a male voice that said something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." So I wrote like this little Post-it note. So do you think that that was Bryan telling Zaina? Do you think that it could have been Bryan coming down the stairs, around that corner to where Dylan couldn't see him at the time? He was around that corner towards the bathroom, going towards Zaina's room. Maybe she didn't know who he was, but maybe he was like, "It's okay, I'm here, I'm going to help you." And she knew, that house had a lot of people going in and out of it. Maybe she had thought he was there to help her. And so she, wasn't as hesitant at first to let him come closer to her, maybe. And then maybe he got in her, I don't know, maybe he got in her, her zone too fast after that. I don't know. When I was reading this, that was some of the stuff I was going through, and it was making my brain rattle. Because that would make sense if, let me see here if I can bring it up for you. Let's see. Let me share this. It would make sense if he was coming around the living room towards the bathroom, towards bedroom D, where bedroom C you wouldn't be able to see because the bathroom is there. So if the person was, right in front of the bathroom door, let's say, and Zaina was coming out of her bedroom at the same time. Because you could definitely hear that from around, to bedroom C. I'm not going to play the audio I don't know about the audio. I only know about the TikTok audio, and I'm not going to play that. No need to zoom in. Sorry, I was trying to read some of your guys' comments. And then I'll go back to my other stuff. So. I'm not playing the leaked audio, William. And if you say that, if you put BS towards me like that again, I'm going to put you in timeout on my channel. And if you don't, I'm not dealing with that. I've been dealing with you for the last few days. I feel like coming in here saying stuff that's been kind of off the wall. Okay, so at approximately, we're in the yellow part. At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera, and the yellow, I have that for like the security cameras, like my yellow highlighter, located at 1112 King Road. A residence immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. Unless that's the leaked audio, that would be the only audio that I would know about, other than the body cam footage, because they did have the body cam footage. DM stated she opened the door for a third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built, with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding door. DM locked herself in her, and I'll say room. This one's like really short. And this is going to like, so the whole crime is, its total time is it's 16 minutes. So she locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. And I'll show you in the graph that I did, like the timeline, that it was like 16 minutes. He, like, from the time they saw him coming in, from where he could park his car to get into the house to leave, to like get back out, was 16 minutes. And that's because because Dylan saw him leave. He left out the back slider door. And we know a rough estimate of when it started because he came in and he parked. The combination of, it just says, believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. So that's all I wanted to share with you on that. And then I just wanted to show you the chart. And then we're going to, I was going to watch something with you guys really quick, and then that way we can, let's see. Who confirmed it? Yeah, William, who confirmed it? You tell me who confirmed it. You show me it's confirmed audio, and I'll play it. But if you want to listen to like TikTok audio, the TikTok app is there. I mean, like, I'll listen to TikToks all day long with y'all. But if it's, there was also a scream that was, that was replayed by a creator that had over 200,000 subscribers on his channel, Joseph Morris. So he might have it. He's back on YouTube now, but he did the fake audio scream. So he might have been doing this audio himself too, because he's back. I just haven't seen it confirmed, so I don't want to put anything out that's not confirmed, especially when it's audio, because that's just something I can't take back if it's out. Thank you. I know. I'm ready to fight tonight with my nails. But I know that, I know that other creators are putting the audio out there. That's just something I don't feel comfortable putting out if I don't know that if it's real. I don't even feel comfortable putting out if it's real. I haven't put any audio out on my channel. Actually, at all. We did, the only audio we've done is we did the TikToks on the girl we did TikToks on people, but if it's confirmed though, I'll show it all day long. Just someone give me something that's confirmed. And I promise I'll show it. I don't care. Where was I going to show you next? Oh, this isn't sharing the right page. That's why. Okay, so here's my little timeline I made for you. So basically, 9 p.m. to 1:45. I'm just going to go over it really quick. But Ethan and Zaina were at the Sigma Chi house on the University of Idaho campus. And then I think for the next one, I'm just going to go over the chart I have instead of instead of doing both. And then 10 p.m. to 1:30, Kaylee and Maddie are seen on surveillance at Corner Club, a bar in downtown Moscow. 1:30 to 1:56, Kaylee and Maddie went to the grub truck. They arrived home by 1:56. 4 a.m. By 4 a.m., everyone is home and in bed, approximately the same time. Dylan hears what she believes is Kaylee playing with Murphy. At 4:12 a.m., so they're in bed by 4 a.m. I believe they see him on footage at 4:04 a.m. turning around parking. So 4:04 is, we'll say, I have like another time chart for him too. So we'll get into that. But 4:12, Zaina is eating, watching TikTok. Around this time, Dylan heard what she thinks is Kaylee saying, "There's someone here." This could have been Zaina, though, since she was awake. Dylan looked out again, but didn't see anything. Oh no, I didn't get it. You sent me something, Sugar and Spice. I didn't get it, but I haven't looked on anything. But I haven't like been on any. I haven't like looked on my emails. I need to look on my emails so bad. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I need to write that down because I meant to do that today, and I had time today. I could have done that, and I forgot. So at 4:12 and 4:15, or 4:12, between 4:12 and 4:15, I tried to like, so there wasn't a lot of timeline on there. So I was trying to pick out like timelines from him and like when I thought he was in the house and where I thought he could be. But between that time, Dylan hears what she thinks is crying from Zaina's room. Dylan said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." I spelled help wrong, sorry. And then 4:17, around this time, a security camera picked up distorted audio, what sounded like voices or whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking at this time. And then 4:17 to 4:20, Dylan opens her door for the third time to see a man in a face mask and dark clothing. She described him as around 5'10", muscular, athletically built with bushy eyebrows. She states the man walked past her and out the back sliding door. She locked herself in her room at this point. And then at 11:58 a.m. the next day, that's when someone called 911 on one of the surviving cell phone, the roommate's cell phones. So that's my little chart. In case we need it for anything, it'll be there now. But I did have some other stuff to show you guys. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I know that other people are. Let me see. I guess. Chancer said the audio sounds completely fake, just unsub from a channel which posted it. I've seen about 1,000 different interpretations of what supposedly said in it too. Well, I'm glad that you're here and I haven't shown it and I'm not going to. I know somebody that is showing it right now and they probably got 1,000 people in their chat watching it. But it's the same person that doesn't want to show. I don't know. It's weird how some people will show something and then not on one thing, but I don't know. I haven't talked about the audio. No, we had some people asking about the audio in the chat and I haven't, it's not confirmed, so I'm not playing it, but I know other creators are. I just, is it like audio of the dog or something? Like the dog barking? Is that what the audio, because I don't even listen to the audio. Because I don't listen to stuff. I just don't even put, I don't put my, I didn't think that it was real. Okay. What is going on with my stuff? I don't know. I know. Is it? Okay. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me? I didn't even check my audio. Yep, we're good. I don't know what that was. My computer, like my MacBook, just turned off. And I wasn't even touching anything, guys. Maybe she had too many tabs open. I bet, is that a thing? Oh, I better close them. That's probably what it is. I probably heated my stuff or something. Whoopsie. I don't know. I think it's this little gray box thing that we've been using because ever since I've had this thing, we've had troubles. But anyway, don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, we were talking about the audio. But yeah, no, I haven't. So is the audio like of the dog barking? We're good? Okay. I mean, I don't want to play it. I just want to know what it was about. Because, like, you know, I just. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, okay, so remember the fake audio that was, like, leaked by, I don't know, that one creator I was just talking about, Joseph Morris, whatever his name is? Yeah. So he created that whole fake audio and leaked it. And then another creator came out that I respected at the time very much. I'm not going to say any names, but that creator came out and made a video on their channel and said that it was Kaylee's voice. Like they took the scream for what it was, they took it as gold and they ran with it. And they didn't just say they thought, they perhaps, they suggest, they said it was her. They said her name twice before I had to cut the video off. And so that's why I don't like to play stuff like that on my channel because I don't know if even if it's real. You know what I mean? Like I don't want her. Like I'm a small channel. I know that her parents are probably not in here. I mean, Kaylee's parents, because I know they float around the internet. Ethan's parents, you know, Maddie's mom and dad. Okay, you guys can at least hear me now. You might not be able to see me, but you can hear me. But I do have to pull up all my stuff again, so that's not very good. Let me see if I start it. Nope, yep, it won't let me. So we'll have to do it this way. I have to go old school again tonight. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Oh my gosh, yeah. So we were talking before I got interrupted with all my technical difficulties. Vincent thinks it's overheating, so guess I'm gonna have to get a new computer, right? Yay for me. Yeah, no, I think, well, because I have a brand new MacBook, but I think that I need like a actual computer because I have a 32-inch monitor in front of me right now, so I can see it, like your guys' chat better, and I can like, present things better to you guys. And, yeah, we think it ate my computer for a minute, so we'll just do it this way for a minute, see how it goes. And then I'll pull up the stuff that I needed to pull back up too. Which I'm glad that I remember it. Okay, I'll just pause that. There was only one video that I really needed to pull up, and then I know I had like a bunch of other stuff. I just don't remember what it was. Yeah, like and I don't want to like disrespect the families, especially because that's the one thing I don't want to do on my channel ever is disrespect somebody. But you guys actually let me edit my avatar. This little shirt I'm wearing tonight is the little shirt in this picture. So you guys can look at me like back when I was at Thanksgiving. Maddie Davis, thank you. I'm glad that everyone stayed. Thank you guys so much for staying too, because I have some good stuff to show you. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's either technical difficulties or groundbreaking like stuff comes through. So it had to be something tonight, right? It just had to be. Okay, so let me see here. If I was me, what would I do? I'm trying to share this with you. So how is everybody's weekend going? So far, so good. Does anybody have to wake up early tomorrow? Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get I think I'm gonna have to get like an actual computer this time. Instead of, because I just got this MacBook not too long ago. So it's not the MacBook. It's definitely just the big old monitor I've got on here. And I never, ever, like, use, I always use it, but I never, like, put stuff in right. That's my fault. Let's see. But I did this time, I think, with the timeline. All of it? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So this is the other timeline that I did. I thought I did one more, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I just condensed these both down into one. Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. And then before we like watch this other video, I just wanted to go through this timeline really quick with you guys. And then the video I have for you, it's gonna like it's from, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I haven't got to see all of it, but it's from, let me see, Court TV, and it's where they had removed some of the evidence from the house, which in the beginning they ended up removing items. News Nation ended up getting like pictures of it, and there was like blood on the mattresses. You could see it through the actual like tarping that they have. I wish they would have covered that a little better. I'm not sure who takes evidence out of a house like that anyway, but I'm not here for that. I don't like it. So I wanted to go over the affidavit with you guys too. Let me make sure that it's not too long. Because it's actually not. It's only like a couple pages. just want to make sure I have them all out here so that I'm ready to go. Okay. I'm going to give you guys the short version of this. We are going to use my chart instead of like me going through everything. But if at any time anyone is confused, I can go through the affidavit and show you guys where I got the times. But at 3:29 a.m., the white Elantra is seen doing passes by the King Road residence. And that's when they're, that's when they are not there. That's when he is seen going around in circles like 3 times. And that's they did a review of footage from multiple videos, and they obtained that footage from multiple different videos throughout the neighborhood. Also, if you're just now joining us, thank you for sticking around. If you guys were here during my technical difficulties, something happened with my camera. Not sure why. So you guys aren't going to see me tonight probably, but you can hear me. So you guys can see me tomorrow. If you guys could like the video on your way in and subscribe to the channel. We are True Crime, and we are talking about the Idaho 4, and I am going over Bryan Kohberger's timeline that I did for you guys today. And I could have sworn that I did do 2 on him. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm not like losing my crap because this isn't the whole thing. Now I just got to find the other one. Okay, maybe here. This is so weird. Okay, if not, you know what? I'm just going to go find it really quick. Just go back on here and find it again. Oh, it's because this is one of 2, so I might just pull it up in my Canva app for you guys. This might just be easier after I do this one. Oh, hi, Valerie. Oh, and I saw someone else was first time in here earlier, too. I know Maddie Davis. I think that you're new, and I like the little, what is that? What is that, a puppy? Oh, my gosh, that is. Oh, my gosh, look at that fancy dog. Is that your dog? That dog is so fancy if it is. Oh, yeah, Margie. I knew we had another one. I saw it, and I was like, oh, and I was trying to get back on to you guys. I felt so bad. But you guys are so, so nice, and I'm so grateful that you guys stuck around. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll get right back into the case now. And I do have to kind of pull things back up as I go along, so just bear with me, but I promise it's worth it. So at 3:29, the white Elantra is seen doing passes, like I said, by the King Road residents. At 4:04, surveillance shows the vehicle doing a U-turn, then parking between the intersection of Queen and King Road. If you guys aren't familiar with the road there, it's kind of like, how do I explain this without showing you with my hands? One road goes like it wraps around the house kind of in a way. So, Queen is where the front door is, if you're looking at the front door, and then King Road is technically like the side of the house. And it's more of like, that little alley right there. So then 4:04 to 4:07, that's when Dylan hears Kaylee with Murphy, and then hears someone say, there's someone here. So this would be after the suspect entered. That's what I put there anyway, between 4:04 and 4:07, because surveillance shows, his vehicle doing that U-turn and parking at 4:04, and it's on the intersection of King and Queen Road. If you run, you can make it there by 4:04. If you walk slowly, 4:07, maybe you take a breather before you walk in or something. I don't know, but I put it at 4:07 just for extra cushion. And then at 4:20, the suspect vehicle is seen leaving the home. And, oh, you're welcome, John Adam. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. And then 9:12 to 9:21 a.m., that's when this guy decides he's going to come back. The phone's back in the area of the murder scene. So what I think is he came back around because he wanted to see his handiwork, and he wanted to see if there was people standing outside and going, oh, ooh, oh, you know, doing the oohs and the ahs. And then he realized nobody had even woke up yet. No one was calling 911 yet. So total time in the house, if you look from here, you know, 4:04. If that is if he's parked the car and he runs his butt in there, to 4:20. 16 minutes. Like only 16 minutes. I thought it was a lot longer. Oh, bye, Sugar and Spice. Oh no. Hopefully everything's okay with the house. Yeah, so when he was parking, surveillance shows him like doing a U-turn and all some crazy stuff. And that was at 4:04. Trying to see where I have everything like marked down too. So it says suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road resident, it appears to be unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. And then it says this. That's when he cuts the his cell phone, I believe, off. But the suspect vehicle was next seen departing the area of King Road residents at approximately 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. And then that's where we have him at 4:20. And then he comes back around at 9:12 to 9:21. His phone is back in the area. Like, is this guy a PhD student, or is he going to his first year of kindergarten? Because I went to school for criminal justice. I got my bachelor's, and they don't teach you how to kill. They don't teach you how to get away with it, but they do teach you how to clean up a crime scene. You know, they teach you about blood splatter. They teach you about the way that blood flows and the droplets. And, you know, they show you things. Collection. We learn about collection. We learn about taking photographs. So we see things. So you would think that he just did some amateur stuff. I guess thought he was smart by turning his phone off the night of the crime. But the 12 other times that he was in the area, he didn't turn his phone off. So he's a big dummy on that one. And then I'm just going to show you guys the screen over here, because it's just on my Canva. Because I didn't, for some reason, it didn't add. So this will just be easier to show you guys. And I'm sorry the print is like so small. I don't know if I can. Nope, I don't think I can like make it any bigger. But so then I went ahead and I kept like, so after 9, you know, he was seen at the house at 9:21, or he wasn't seen, I'm sorry, but he was his phone was back in the area of the murder scene, I'm sorry, but at 9:21, I just started going on with the timeline, and that's when things started getting weird. So that's when I was like, okay, very, very weird stuff's going on. So at 12:36 p.m., Bryan's phone is pinged and is traveling from Pullman, Washington, to Lewiston, Idaho. Okay, so let me pull up my maps. That's what I had up. That was up here. Okay, so he was going from Pullman, Washington to, let me see. Make sure I put him in the right. Pullman, and then he was going to Lewiston, Idaho, right? Okay, yeah. So, it says at 12:36, Bryan's phone is pinged and is traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewiston, Idaho. Estimated time there is 39 minutes. So right here is the map from Pullman to Lewiston. or Lewistown, whatever you want to call it, Lewiston. So when he gets to Lewiston, like where are you going, buddy? Why are you driving 39 miles away from home? What are you doing out there? What's going on? Best coffee around, I guess. So at 12:36, his phone is pinged. Okay, so Bryan's phone, and it gives you an approximation right here. So it is pinged at a location at a Kate's Cup of Joe Coffee in Clarkston, Washington. So then if you go so he went 39 miles to Lewiston, and I'm not sure why. But then he goes from Lewiston to Clarkston. So then if you pull up Lewiston, I don't know. I know I'm saying that wrong. Sorry, guys. That's my accent. To Clarkston, Washington. Then he only goes another 10 minutes right here. So not very far. And that's when, at 12:46, Bryan is seen on surveillance at the, hold on. The Albertsons was the same place, wasn't it? Sorry, guys. Let me get this right. I want to make sure I get it all right for you. Oh, wait, right here it is. Okay, so at approximately 12:46, that's when he is seen at Albertsons. Where's my page before this, guys? I'm missing a page. It's probably on the bottom of this. That's probably why I'm so confused right now with life. Yep, there it is. Okay. So on November 13th, the same day, okay, approximately 12:36, his phone number is, they ping his phone, and he's at a Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand. And that is in Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington. So then he goes to Clarkston, Washington from Lewiston. And it just gets weirder and weirder. So that's only 11 minutes. And then he goes into an Albertsons he's seen at 12:46 to 1:04. He is seen on surveillance cameras at the Albertsons grocery store. I've never been to an Albertsons, so I don't know what they have there, but I'm assuming it's just a regular grocery. We don't know what he bought though. In the affidavit, it doesn't even say in there what he bought. It just says what he bought is unknown. But he was seen on surveillance cameras, and he was seen leaving the parking lot at 1:04. Okay, I'll just make sure you guys can hear me okay. Says, yeah, I think that Zaina definitely fought. Bizarre behavior. He's all in one place. Yeah, he's all over the place. I was really getting confused today when I was doing these timelines, guys, because I was wait a minute. And I'm sorry it's not bigger for you guys. I'll have to make that bigger for you guys somehow next time. I've never done a timeline before, so this is my first one. And I could have kept going on and on. I had I was going to I was going to bust out the whiteboards, but then I was oh, I could just do it on here. So then he's seen at the Albertsons. He leaves at 1:04. Then he's I don't know. He's in La La Land. They don't ping his phone or anything until 5:36. So that's when his phone shows up in Johnson, Idaho. So Clarkston. Let me see here. This is what I don't get. And this is what gets me I'm wondering where he was going with this. Johnson, Idaho. It's so small too. Johnson, Idaho is small. 134 minutes, 75 miles. So, okay, where the hell was he going that day? This is on the 13th. So, from 1:04 p.m. to 5:36 p.m. So he has all that time to get, from Clarkston to Johnson in Idaho. He has an hour. It's an hour and 34 minutes from Albertsons to get there, and it's 2 hours from his house in Pullman to get there. So this is a 2-hour drive out, just out. His parents don't live out there. We know his parents don't live out there because they live in Pennsylvania or out Brightsville. You know, they're not here. So from the same day when he hits 5:36, that's when his phone shows up in Johnson, Idaho, 134 minutes from the grocery store that he was at 1:04. And his phone is turned off from 5:36, or it's dead, or it's turned off. We know how he turns things off, maybe. 5:36 to 8:30 in Johnson, Idaho. He's there just hanging out, getting rid of a murder weapon, perhaps. I sure can. Let me see. Yeah, I can read your comment, of course. That's what I was going to say. So, well, I don't know if that's what I was going to say, but I was going to get there, kind of. So, back to the here. So, yeah. So, when I came on here, I know that there is like, this is a reservation, like an actual like reservation for, I think for like actual like a Native American reservation. Looks like right there, though, they have a big old dam. So I was actually looking when I went to here, I went to things to do. I went to things to do on the route. So on this route from, Lewiston or whatever to Johnson, make sure that they're sharing the right thing. Okay, yep. And then things to, go back. And then things to do. You've got like all these places. You got this Discovery Center. It's like a park, small park. You've got, I saw some other parks on here, like bigger ones, like this Snake Dancer Excursions, Hell's Canyon Tours. I mean, like that looks like a place. And they're all like right in here. So I don't know why he would have had to go all the way out though. But these are all different areas that he could, be utilizing. And if you go out, there's like national forest everywhere. There's reservoirs. Reservoirs. There's like little lakes. This is all forest out here. Like if you look, let me see if I can pull it in more. Like I'm not good with direction, but that doesn't look like that would be that far to go over and be in some trees. Yeah, I mean, like they have this Swallows Park, Granite Lake Park. I mean, that looks to me like a good place to throw a knife. And Bryan's dad arrested. What? Why would they arrest his dad? Because he was... They should get Danny Dip and his friends go magnet fishing there. So, so that park, so there's a Granite Lake Park, Idaho Division of Tourism Development. What is this? Oh, more water. Look at those. Yeah, so I think that like, I didn't see anything about his dad, John Adams. Bryan's dad's arrested. Check news. Like, what news would it be on? I looked it up, but I didn't see anything. Let me see. Maybe like YouTube. What is their local channel? For some reason, I can't think of their local channel out there. I think it was in your head. Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere. So I don't think his dad's arrested. No, his dad's not arrested. It's just, nope, not yet. I don't think they will arrest him. Even if he knew, I mean, if he knew, then yeah, they should arrest him. I don't know if he knew. But like, there's this one too. But I mean, these places are all like right here, just right in his general area. So I feel like this is going to be I think this is going to end up being like one of the places, like we're going to end up finding out that this is, maybe they do have the murder weapon, or they at least, maybe they know where it's at. They think they know where it's at. I'm going to grab a drink really quick. It's just right beside me. So hold on one second. Okay. So do you guys think that, do you think that one of these places could be it? I think it could. I mean, I've seen people do crazier things or not so crazy things. I think that he, I don't know. Yeah, Paul, I didn't see anything either. My bad. I got overexcited, he said. Yeah, I mean, I would say, but bye, Marissa. See you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Doesn't look like she left. Nope. Looks like 6 more people came. For them to put Johnson and no PHN for 3 hours in PNC, there's definitely something going to come out of it. Wish we knew if Ellie was searching the area. Bryan Laundrie much. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Bryan Laundrie when I was like literally looking at this stuff. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm looking for him almost. Like, is he out there? Because you could see, I mean, this is all wooded area. They probably won't find it if it is out there somewhere, unless they're, you know, they're not looking, but they have to be looking because they put it in the, you know, the probable cause. So I'm sure that they know something that we don't know, which I'm sure they know a lot of things that we don't know. And then I think that was all that I had on that. But yeah, I couldn't believe that he was that far out. So he's 2 hours from home, an hour and a half away from his last stop. And I don't know, he just turns his phone off for 4 hours. I just find that so strange. It was from 5:36 to 8:30. Let me go ahead and share that tab with you. His phone was just like not on at all. Very strange to me. So I wanted to run that past you guys because I feel like maybe they're going to come out and then I'm saying that's where they found the weapon. Maybe they did find it. Maybe it's been, you know, thrown into a lake though, so they can't really get any evidence off of it, but I don't know. And then I was going to show you, the last thing I was going to show you guys was this, but I want to check my chat for a minute because you guys have been chatting it away. I know, I'm like, I don't know why people even, you know, I don't know why people think that, you know, this affects me anymore. It used to. But then after someone called me, someone said that I was like the girl, like it's a guy that plays him, but it's the guy off the movie Split, like the most evil person on that movie. I think I don't know which alter ego it was, but this person said that I was that. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like it was the worst, rudest comment I've ever had. And I'm like, you took the time to write all that out for me? I mean, it makes me feel really good. I really appreciate that. Usually a killer like this would want to get home ASAP. Surely driving around at 4 a.m. is risky. He could have been pulled over. Yeah, you're right. He did go home that night. And then the next morning, he came out at 9:12. It's insane to me. And they do say, officers used to say this in my small town anyway. They used to say, if you're out of the hours between 12 and 6 a.m., you're going to get pulled over 9 times out of 10 because you're probably drinking. And they were probably correct. It was a small town, so I'm sure they were correct. But I don't know if you guys have seen this on Court TV, but I wanted to show this to you guys because it actually shows the route that he took. Like they did like a visual route in a car, and then they did one on, you know, like a visual board that you can like watch and see. So I was like, I want to watch this because then it just gives us a better understanding of, you know, better understanding. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be deja vu. You would be right, Sugar and Spice. If that was like, if his dad did get arrested because Bryan Laundrie's parents are going through that now. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out with that. I think I'm going to do a video on that. What did Nelly say? Nelly said, TitaniumBuilt. Tanya, I made a comment on another channel, and this really scary person made a short video on their channel about me saying how nasty I am. My comment only disagreed. Really? Wow. That's crazy. People are nasty. People are nasty. This is YouTube, people. This is not the rest of your life. It's only the rest of the day, you know? That's so crazy. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why would somebody like do that? That's not nice. You're allowed to have an opinion. As long as it doesn't as long as nobody's rude to anybody in the chat, you guys can have opinions all day. You can even go to the weirdest conspiracies with them. I might like call you out on it if it's too ridiculous, but you know, but we'll entertain it. We entertain everybody's thoughts here. You know, I mean, this is a safe space for everybody to talk true crime. Also, if you guys are just now joining us, we're getting ready to watch the court TV. It was new evidence removed from the Idaho murder house. I do want to say there is a trigger warning in the beginning of this video. If you look closely, and I'm sure because I'm just going to say it because a lot of people have already seen, not this video, but the footage of them taking the mattresses out. The mattresses are covered. They are zipped in like a cover, but if you look closely at them, you can see what appears to be blood staining, and it's tragic. And so, but I wanted to play this clip with you guys, and it's very quick, and they don't show it like or anything. I don't believe they show it because I looked through that to make sure. So I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I wanted to watch it with you guys, but I did watch the beginning because I didn't want you guys to be spooked by anything, you know. Really? I wonder who. You have to tell me who it was. You have to private message me or something. Because there's some crazy people out there. But you know, there is one less crazy person on the platform right now. If you guys haven't figured it out, Morbid Curiosity, that guy, or Morbid Reality, Morbid Reality. Yeah, that's the name. Yeah. He used to go around and he would bully a lot of other creators. Not me, but if he wanted to, I was going to give him all the goods to do it. But he's not on the platform anymore. No more bullying people. So but I heard that he does. I heard that he does like come back every so many months as a new person. You think he cleaned up before he drove to Lewiston? Yeah, he could have cleaned up, and then he could have packed all of that stuff away, and he could have been throwing that out in Johnson, Idaho. Or Lewiston, I mean, anywhere but the house that he was in. So, if you guys are just now joining us, don't forget to like the video. We have a lot of people in here tonight, and I would love if we could get some new subscribers and if we could get some new likes. Also, let me pull that up really fast. I'll be super fast. I'll be super fast, guys, I promise. So, let me see here. I'm going to put, if it'll let me, nope. Okay. I'm going to go find it really quick. If you would like to become a member, I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat. Earlier, my computer went out on me, so I'm kind of having to go back through everything. But I wanted to do that, and then I wanted to also... Okay, so I am doing a live subscriber feed tonight. So we are at 3387. We are trying to get up to 5,000 subscribers. It's updating live. That way we can get a new giveaway going on, and I get my TitaniumBuilt sign behind me. So let's be real. I get something, you get something, we all get something. So as you guys subscribe, the numbers will go up. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you. And I'll go ahead and share that with you guys here and there too. We'll go ahead and get started with watching this.
Four University of Idaho students were brutally murdered. Surveillance cameras in the neighborhood captured crucial video which led to the arrest of the suspect. That video shows a white Hyundai Elantra passing by the victim's home several times before parking. Tonight, we return to the scene of the crime to retrace the path to gain a clearer understanding of how and when the killer entered the home.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here on Closing Arguments. I want to begin tonight by talking about evidence. And let's begin with what many people consider the gold standard in criminal cases, DNA. DNA is great evidence, but it does have some limitations. We know DNA can put a suspect, a criminal, at the scene of a crime, but it's always circumstantial evidence. It doesn't prove the case. It's not direct evidence of the crime, but you can put that criminal at the scene of the crime. So it's very powerful, but has limitations. Because if you obtain DNA at the scene of a crime and you have it on a murder weapon or some blood that's on the ground, whatever form you have it in, that's fantastic. But you've got to find the source, so you have to compare it to some other DNA. And if the suspect you're looking for is not in the DNA database, there'll be no match. There's no match. If that suspect hasn't been arrested before, hasn't put their DNA into the system or had their DNA placed into the system, then you've got DNA, but you've got no match. So, you've got so many unsolved cases like that. You have the DNA, but the person's never been caught doing anything, and they're not on 23andMe. That's why you need a suspect, someone to compare the DNA to. So you need other evidence. So I said, DNA is great, but has its limitations in solving a crime. Now, cell phones. These days, great evidence, digital footprints, what people are saying and doing and texting on their cell phones, amazing insight into the mind of a suspect, into the mind of a criminal. You know what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're saying. You can also track where they are if they have their cell phone. But there are some limitations. First thing is you could turn your cell phone off. All right, you're gonna go commit a crime, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna have it on when I go to commit this crime. That way, they'll never track me there. Or you can leave your cell phone at home. We had a criminal defendant in a death penalty case who did that. Left his cell phone at home and used that as his alibi. Investigators found his burner phone, though. He was convicted. But again, cell phones, absolutely amazing evidence, but has some limitation. How about surveillance cameras? There are no buts about cameras, none. And the reason I say that is the camera shows you what it shows you. You can see it happen. If there's a surveillance camera that shows and records the crime, that is direct evidence. Better than an eyewitness. Better than an eyewitness, because you don't have to, you don't have to rely upon someone's memory. You just roll the video. Take a look. Who is it? What does it show? What did they do? Where did they go? When were they there? Fantastic evidence when you have it. Now, in some cases, it may not be the direct evidence of the case because it may not show you the crime itself. But it may show you where someone is at a particular time, or where a car is, where someone is walking, when they were walking. Just like DNA, surveillance video can place you at or near the scene of the crime at the time of the crime. The great thing about surveillance video comes with a timestamp as well. DNA, not so much. Now, in this case, in Idaho, investigators have put all of these different types of evidence together and pieced it together and revealed it to us and to the defendant in the probable cause affidavit that outlined part of their case. The evidence that they believe proves that this defendant committed a quadruple murder in Moscow, Idaho on November 13th. Videos, cell phone, DNA, timestamps, very, very specific timestamps. And Court TV legal.
Hey, Bruce, and is it Jeannie Holcomb? Are you talking about the probable cause affidavit, the page that's redacted? Because I was wondering, we were talking about that earlier, and if that's what you're talking about, then that makes sense. Because I'm wondering how it. Because I don't believe that the second page was redacted in that, because it doesn't say page 2. So I thought maybe that's what you were talking about. So if that's what you're talking about, then I agree with you. But I didn't know how it, because it's like printed backwards, the redacted sign part of it. And I got him looking really crazy, so.
Legal correspondent Chanley Painter took that probable cause affidavit, put it all together, and lays out the prosecution's timeline.
The family of the victims and millions around the country have frantically searched for clues about what happened on the night Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogen, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle were brutally murdered. The probable cause affidavit provides some answers. It lays out a timeline of what prosecutors say happened during those early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. At 2 a.m., all the roommates are home after a night out. Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, is also at the house. The address is 1122 King Road. At 2:47 a.m., Bryan Kohberger's cell phone allegedly shows he's traveling south through Pullman, Washington. And right then, the phone stops, reporting to the cell network. The affidavit states police obtained numerous surveillance videos from homes and businesses that capture a white sedan on November 13th. It's 3:26 a.m. when video captures what police say is Kohberger's 2015 white Hyundai Elantra traveling westbound on Indian Hills Drive. This is 5 minutes from the victim's home. Starting at 3:29 a.m., home surveillance videos caught multiple sightings of that same car passing through the King Road neighborhood. Around 4 a.m. is when surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen wakes up to the sounds of what she believes is Kaylee Gonsalves in the room directly above her playing with her dog. Dylan's
Okay, so I have a question for you guys really quick. We have 203 people in here, so we have a lot of people that could answer. If we get a lot of answers, we get a lot of yeses, then I'll stay up and I'll do it. But if we don't, then I probably won't stay up that late. But do you guys want me to play the 48-hour special on the Idaho 4 that's getting ready to be broadcast tonight at 10 o'clock? We have like 7 minutes until it broadcasts on, I have the cable network that I can stream it and we can watch it together. So it's up to you guys. So put a 1 in the chat if you would like to watch the 48 hours version for the Idaho 4. It's a brand new episode that they're coming out with, this evening. And yeah, we'll talk through it also. Yeah, so we'll talk through it whenever they have commercials and stuff. Or put a 2 in the chat if you just want to play it on with Vinny and we'll just listen to him. Okay. Then we'll play it. Yeah, we'll play it. We got a lot of ones. We'll play it. Okay, so let me think. We only have like 6 minutes, so I'll play this while I'm getting it together, and that way you guys have something. Actually, I'm just gonna stop sharing this one. I'm like, because then we'll get all caught up in that, and then I'll end up forgetting to switch it over. But I know it channel and everything it's on. So if you guys have any questions while we're waiting, just let me know. But yeah, I think that it'll be good to watch. I love 48 Hours. They always have really good coverage of every case that they cover. I think I've seen every 48 Hours episode there is, pretty much. I like that show. What is Dateline? I like Dateline. I like all the goodies. So that would be a good one to play. I can go ahead and get the timelines and stuff off here. I wonder if I can get my camera to work. Nope. It's so weird. I don't know. Have to get like a new cord or something. Or a new port or something for it. Very strange. And I don't want to like mess it up. Do you think he has been inside the property before either a party or prowling when they were out or asleep? Oh, that's a really good question, Perry UK True Crime. Like, so in the beginning of the case, I thought that he had been in the house before. I actually thought he was a neighbor. I didn't think a particular neighbor. I just thought that he was somebody that would be able to be in the neighborhood, and watch them and not be seen. So I thought, more like a neighbor. I don't think he's been in the property before, but I think that he has a general layout of the property. But then again, I don't know, because that house is just so crazy set up. So if he was going in and he was going in to kill, let's say he was going in to kill Kaylee and Maddie. All he had to do was go up to the 3rd floor, come back down, and leave. The only thing I can think of is in this instance that when he was coming down those stairs, that's when Zaina maybe was going towards the kitchen to drop off her food that she had just ate. And I also think Ethan would have been awake with Zaina, because they probably would have shared the food together and then went to sleep together. They were there for 2 hours before they went to sleep. So they were hanging out doing something what couples do, So I don't know. I just have a feeling that they would have been up eating the food together. Even if it was one meal. I do that all the time. So what do you think, though? Do you think that... I think he was definitely prowling, because, we have the 12 phone pings, and I think he was prowling more than that. I think that he left his phone somewhere or turned it off other times, and it'll probably come out. Oh, bye, Lady Justice. I just saw that. Oh, you're welcome. Have a good evening. Love you, girl. Ethan wasn't allowed to say that against frat rules. Oh, well, he did. He broke them. I broke a lot of rules when I was in college. We went to a dry campus, and it was the biggest party campus, though. How are you going to have a dry campus like that? And so I remember like going to this party, and I'm trying to go down like with this book bag on my shoulders, and I'm like a small girl. I'm even smaller then. And these beers about took me out. I about like rolled down the hill with this book bag of these beers on my back, trying to take, it was bad. But it was a dry campus, so we had to sneak them in. The house was ever on MLS that has interior photos. Oh, we do have a little bit of photos of the inside of the house too. And I bet you tonight on the 48 Hours, they're going to show us. I'm going to go ahead and put it on that because it's that time. And he said it was channel 12.
Found hope in the midst of an
Okay. I'll go ahead and put it on there.
Every moment in life is a bet. Like betting on taking a hitchhiker tailgating.
Just going to put it on the mute until it comes on. It's showing something else right now. All CSI was on or something. Which I haven't watched that new CSI Las Vegas. I'm dying to. I like the old one so much. So, oh, Ohio. Let me see. Okay, I could probably go ahead and share it with you guys. I just didn't want them to like get me for showing it with the CSI. I couldn't think of the show. Yeah, Sharon McAndrews. Yeah, Zaina was on TikTok. She was on there at like 4:12. So yeah, definitely during the time that everything was probably going on, I would say. Because we put him being there maybe around 4:07 inside the home. Oh, here it is. Let me turn it up a little bit for you guys.
Well, today, Kohberger made his first court appearance in Idaho to face 4 charges of first-degree murder.
If convicted, Kohberger faces life in prison and possibly the death penalty.
At his initial appearance, he'll hear the charges against him.
Count 2 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree. Count 3, murder in the first degree. Count 4, murder in the first degree. Count 5 alleges that you committed.
In high school, he would talk, he would laugh and stuff like that, but when I saw him a couple years later, it was just kind of creepy. I don't know what happened. It's like a switch went off and he just changed.
The newly released affidavit reveals so much information.
Details about how police tracked the suspect down. DNA, phone records, and a witness.
Bryan Kohberger was studying criminal justice and criminology right here at Washington State University. It was really shocking because of all the different parts of my life that were tied to this as a journalist, as a teacher of college students, and certainly as a father and a citizen here.
Since the gruesome murders at a house off campus at the University of Idaho, the town of Moscow remains in shock.
We hear so many stories now about Maddie and Kaylee and Ethan and Xana, about how close they were, the type of people they were. It's devastating to hear that. It's heart-wrenching.
What do you want the world to know about your daughter, Kaylee?
This was a person that was going to go into your community and make it better. All these kids were going to make your community better. You would want them as your neighbor. You'd want them to interact with your children.
Xana Kernodle.
She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know.
Ethan Chapin.
Today we're here to honor the life and legacy of our son, Ethan Chapin, one of the most incredible people you'll ever know.
Madison Mogan.
My only child that we ever had, and so just smart and funny and beautiful.
Kaylee Gonçalves.
You know, most things as a dad you can handle, but something like that you just can't prepare for and you can't fix it.
Why did you do it?
As a father, that's a terrible feeling.
As a professor here on this campus, I want to know, what is the motive? Why do something like this? How did he know Maddie and Kaylee and Ethan and Xana, if indeed he is the person who committed this crime?
Bryan is not tried in the court of public opinion. He has that presumption of innocence.
I honestly think he did it because he wants to see if he can get away with it.
Are you hoping to make eye contact with Bryan at some point?
Eye contact's a guarantee. I definitely want to let him know that I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. This day of court is not just for him, it's for everybody.
Y'all, Wayfair has just what you need for your home.
You got glitter? This label is on its last leg.
Y'all need this.
You're Kelly Clarkson.
A whole new look for a whole lot less.
You're Kelly Clarkson.
I am. And you need this.
I love it.
Are we in a wait?
Didn't realize that it was on commercial already. I was trying to change the title a little bit of the video. If you guys could, while we're on commercial, if you guys could give me a like on this video, that way more people can come and join us in the chat and they can enjoy the content. That would be so great. I really appreciate you guys being here with me tonight and joining me for a little bit of your evening. Okie dokie. Also, let's see if there's another commercial. Nope, I think this is going to be it. I want to see that 60 Minutes with Harry too. Probably will be going back to the episode once this commercial goes off. I did notice that Bryan's friend is out again. She came out, the girl from TikTok. She's on here doing an interview. Yeah, Mary Petty. I know they need to look. I wonder if they're looking into that or if they have looked into that. Oh, I guess I was wrong with the commercial thing. I love team. I'm Team Harry. I always have been, except for I lied. Okay, I lied. I liked William when William was younger, in his younger day. When I was really young, I was a William. I used to love William. But then when Harry started getting older and he got bad, I think that everyone started liking, that Harry a little more. And now he got the looks in the family. He's a good-looking guy. Andrew Tate put $1,000 on his books. Andrew Tate needs someone to put $1,000 on his books. He's in the slammer right now. Oh, okay, here we go. Oops, let me turn it up for you guys.
Under a dark Idaho sky, investigators flew Bryan Kohberger to the college town of Moscow. Police delivered him to the Latah County Jail. On January 5th, in an orange jumpsuit, face vacant, the 28-year-old made what will likely be his first of many appearances in this court. He stands charged with the murder of 4 students from the University of Idaho: Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Maddie Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. Investigators say he stabbed them to death in the home the women shared.
The maximum penalty for this offense, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, is up to death and imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Kohberger has not yet entered a plea. In an affidavit, investigators laid out their understanding of the grim details about the night of the killings. They say the killer left his DNA on a leather knife sheath, like this one, found on a bed next to Maddie Mogan. And most hauntingly, they say a surviving roommate thought she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask. The man walked past as she stood in frozen shock. She locked herself in her room. We will have more details on this fast-moving investigation. Authorities have not disclosed a motive or if he had a connection to the students. But tonight, we are learning more about just who Bryan Kohberger is. Just 15 days before his arrest, Bryan Kohberger and his father were driving home from Washington State University for winter break to the family's home in Pennsylvania.
Hello, how you doing? How y'all doing today?
The journey interrupted by 2 traffic stops, almost 10 minutes apart in Indiana, for tailgating.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're slightly punchy. We've been driving for hours.
Police body cam video shows Kohberger and his father talking calmly with an officer about the trip.
Hours, days. Good driving. Almost a day.
Then they are released with a warning.
So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
Kohberger had been at the university since August, studying to get his PhD in criminology. He was also a teaching assistant in the Department of Criminal Justice. He lived in an apartment complex on campus and had an office there. According to the newly released affidavit, Kohberger had applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall. He wrote in his application essay that, quote, he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data. Benjamin Roberts took 4 classes with Kohberger.
He seemed very comfortable around other people. He was fairly quick to offer his opinion and thoughts, and he was always participating fairly eagerly in classroom discussions.
He says Kohberger appeared highly intelligent.
Does anything else come to mind that Bryan said to you in the past that today you think might be of interest?
There was a comment that he made, and it was just kind of a flippant guy talk thing. At one point, he just idly mentioned, you know, I can go down to a bowl or a club and just have pretty much any lady I want.
Bryan Kohberger.
Kohberger arrived at the university after earning his bachelor's in psychology and master's degree in criminal justice at DeSales University in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. While at DeSales, authorities say Bryan Kohberger posted this survey, approved by the university, on the website Reddit, asking ex-cons about the crimes they committed. One question he asked, before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target?
This could be a piece of circumstantial evidence.
James Galliano is a retired FBI supervisory special agent and CBS News consultant.
The fact that the suspect was interested in pursuing a PhD in criminal justice and was especially interested in the mental state that people who had committed murders in the past, yes, it could be interesting to note, but I know a lot of researchers that study those things too that would never commit a quadruple homicide.
And if Kohberger was involved in these murders, genetic genealogist C.C. Moore questions why he would be so careless as to allegedly leave his DNA at the crime scene.
People are talking about how smart he supposedly is. I just can't see how that could be true, because any student of forensic science or criminology would have to know that it's virtually impossible not to leave your DNA behind at a very violent, intimate crime scene like this. You know, Ted Bundy thought he was smart, but he wasn't that smart, as it turns out.
After the murders, Roberts says Kohberger appeared disheveled, tired, and chattier than usual. But nothing could prepare Roberts for when he learned of Kohberger's arrest.
Looking back over the last 4 months is that I feel like there should have been signs that I should have seen, and I didn't. I was blindsided.
This is out of character for Bryan, these allegations.
Monroe County Public Defender Jason Labar represented Kohberger before he was extradited to Idaho.
The family want the general public to know that Bryan is a caring son and brother, that he's responsible, that he is devoted to them.
In a statement, the family said, "We care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children, and that they seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence rather than judge unknown facts and make erroneous assumptions."
He is innocent until proven otherwise.
Labar says Kohberger came from a close-knit family. He grew up in eastern Pennsylvania in the Pocono Mountains. His father was a maintenance worker, and his mom worked in the school system. Bryan has 2 older sisters, one who works as a family therapist and another sister who appeared in a 2011 low-budget slasher film 2 days back about a group of young students viciously murdered by a serial killer.
Things change.
She now works as a school counselor.
My heart goes out to Bryan's family.
This is Kohberger's friend Bree, who says she met Kohberger at a party when they attended Pleasant Valley High School. She asked us not to use her last name.
Bryan was really funny. He wasn't outgoing at all. But he also wasn't shy.
She says they bonded over their love of the outdoors.
I don't necessarily remember the conversations, but you definitely remember how someone makes you feel. I just remember feeling okay. I was just with a friend. It just felt natural.
Bree recalls Kohberger was an average student with only a few close friends. In this yearbook photo, Kohberger's caption said he aspired to be an Army Ranger.
I used to be friends with Bryan Kohberger.
Casey Arntz also knew Kohberger from high school. She posted this TikTok following Bryan's arrest.
I am just in absolute shock right now. He was an overweight kid, so he did get bullied a lot.
But Casey says people saw a change in Kohberger beginning of senior year.
He lost like 100 pounds. He was a rail. It was after that weight loss that a lot of people noticed a huge switch in him. My brother has since come out to say that even though they were friends, Bryan bullied him. And he had said like he would put him in like chokeholds and stuff like that.
Bree says Kohberger started using heroin, which ended their friendship.
You just saw him becoming more self-destructive. He really stayed secluded.
It's unclear when exactly Kohberger went into recovery. But both Bree and Casey say years after he graduated high school, it appeared as if he was getting his life together. He was going to Northampton Community College and working security for Pleasant Valley School District.
He was telling me that he wanted to get sober, that he was getting sober. And he just wanted to let me know, like, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna be better. I'm sorry.
Last time I saw Bryan was in 2017 at one of my friend's wedding. And I gave him a hug and I was like, you look so good. Like, I'm so proud of you. I just remember being very happy for him.
And both Bree and Casey say it appeared that Kohberger had a new focus, his studies in criminology.
He wanted to do something that impacted people in a good way. People were not his strong suit. And I think through his criminology studies, he was really trying to understand humans and try to understand himself.
Now, Bree, like many who knew him, struggles to connect the person they once knew to this unspeakable crime.
I think a lot of people who were close to him are feeling this massive amounts of guilt. Why didn't I see it? Did I miss something? Where did it go wrong?
Case Watch, sponsored by Consumer Cellular.
I'm Anne-Marie Green. It's our favorite story of the week. We'll have it right after this. Consumer Cellular.
Okay, so we have a commercial there. So, yeah, I don't know why they're making him out to be a ladies' man there in the first half of this video, but don't appreciate that so far. But we will look at the, so I have a live stream going of our subscriber count. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. That way we can get a new giveaway going and I can get my neon sign. We're gonna have a giveaway for you guys, neon sign, TitaniumBuilt for myself. So right now we're at 3417. It is a live, updating live. So I'm so excited that you guys are subscribing to the channel. We may go down, we may go up. You never know on this channel. I may make someone upset again. I'm just kidding. And thank you guys so much earlier for being awesome. I really, 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 really appreciate you guys sticking around when I had my technical difficulties there for like 10 minutes. So I really, 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 really appreciate that. So yeah, that's what I was going to say too. That one of his friends, I guess, came forward, or someone that knew him previously, and I guess that Kohberger had told him something along the lines of, I can go into any bar or club I want and get any woman I want. I'm like, huh, did he say that now? I'm going to say no. He's never been a ladies' man except for in his own mind. That's interesting about his sister being in a slasher movie. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that someone did I think a video on her, like being in one, and it was one that had to do with like knives too. So, oh, thank you, Jeanette. Yeah, thumbs up for my show, guys. You guys have been doing so good about thumbs and up and being so lively in the chat. I love it. You guys make my job a lot easier. And I've been coming on like live and coming on the camera every night, and I am so upset that I couldn't come on tonight with you guys. Halfway through the show, my camera decided to not work anymore, which it's a brand new camera. It's the plug. Something's wrong with it. So it'll be back up tomorrow, hopefully. And I do have a live scheduled for tomorrow, and I have one scheduled for Monday as well already. So the one for tomorrow I have to still post, but the one for Monday is already on there. Hello, Insanely Confused. I love that name. Oh, you have such a pretty little avatar. You guys are the best. I thought these commercials weren't going to be this long, but they'll probably be really long. That way, they get their television time in. So we can just we'll talk through the commercials as we go through them, because these aren't very exciting, But does anybody have any questions? What have you guys been saying in the chat? I haven't really been. We kind of got quiet when we started watching the first I'm sorry, not the first 48. That's a different show. 48 Hours. But I like the first 48 as well. Michelle Johnson, I keep thinking, or Michelle, I keep thinking how the alleged defendant murdered 4 people in 7 minutes or less. Yeah, when I did my timeline, I think I had it down to 16 minutes from 4:04 when he was on surveillance to the suspect leaving at 4:20. Oh, sorry, guys.
Closer than Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves.
Guys!
On TikTok, the 21-year-old seniors looked like they were enjoying their final school year.
You gonna choose me, baby, it is.
In the early morning of November 13th, the two friends headed to a food truck, but their seemingly carefree existence would come to an abrupt end just hours later. Kaylee and Maddie were stabbed to death in the upstairs part of the house. 100 miles away in northern Idaho, Kaylee's father, Steve, got the news. And Steve, give us a sense of the shock of that moment.
You just feel like you're getting crushed by 1,000 pounds of weight.
What do you want the world to know about your daughter, Kaylee?
I want the world to know they got robbed. Somebody stole from you.
Steve Gonsalves says his daughter Kaylee would have made the world a better place. A general studies major, she was the middle child of 5 siblings. Steve says Kaylee was always up for a challenge.
She grew up around 2 boys that were, older than her, and she didn't see any reason why she couldn't be as quick and fast and as good as those 2 boys were.
What did she want to do with her life?
Like most young people, it changed. She was going to be a teacher, but once she found out how long it was going to take to pay back her student loans, she said, Dad, this thing you do with computers seems to work pretty well.
She reportedly had a job lined up in Austin, but made it clear that one day she hoped to settle down somewhere near her dearest friend, Maddie Mogan. Maddie was a marketing major, and she and Kaylee had been inseparable since the 6th grade.
I just felt like it was more of a sistership than it was friendship. And she was just one of our kids.
So it perhaps did not come as a surprise when Steve revealed at a November memorial that Kaylee and Maddie died side by side.
They went to high schools together. They came here together. And in the end, they died together. in the same room, in the same bed. It comforts us. It lets us know that they were with their best friends in the whole world.
It was a belief Maddie's stepfather, Scott Laramie, repeated to another packed memorial just days later.
The two of them were a force to be reckoned with. They stuck together through everything.
Maddie had a boyfriend, Jake Schreiger.
She was the first person I talked to every morning, and the last person I talked to before bed.
They had been together for more than a year. Jake says Maddie had a talent for making people laugh.
She was really funny. Her jokes really would come out of nowhere and just be like, was that the cute little blonde girl that just said that?
But Maddie and Kaylee weren't the only victims. While two other roommates were in their rooms and unharmed during the attacks, on the second floor, the killer made his way to the room of Xana Kernodle.
She was my baby sister, but she was so much wiser.
Xana's sister, Jasmine.
She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her.
A 20-year-old junior majoring in marketing, Xana was known for being focused on her studies. So focused, she didn't make much time for dating.
Xana never had a boyfriend before, and my dad and I wondered if she was ever going to get one.
That was until she met Ethan Chapin.
The way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before.
Ethan was a 20-year-old majoring in recreation and tourism management. Jasmine says Xana and Ethan began dating in the spring of 2022.
They had something so special, and everyone around them knew.
Especially anyone who followed the pair on Instagram. For Ethan's birthday, Xana posted photos of them with the caption, "Life is so much better with you in it. Love you." It would be her last Instagram. Just 2 weeks later, the young couple was found stabbed to death in Xana's bedroom. At the University of Idaho, the pain of this tragedy is felt at the root and extends hundreds of miles away to a tulip farm in Skagit Valley, Washington. It's where Ethan worked before heading to college. His boss, Andrew Miller.
So Ethan started, it was in the spring of 21. It was the best tulip festival.
Miller says the annual Tulip Festival attracts close to 500,000 visitors, and Ethan stood out in the crowd.
Oh, he's a big guy wearing a big smile, right? I think that's the part that that kind of struck me right away.
Ethan, a triplet, worked there with his siblings, Maisie and Hunter, and lived in a rented house on the farm with their parents. The Chapin triplets were incredibly close, says Reese Gardner.
They were best friends. If one did something, they all did something. It was pretty cool to see.
Including attending the University of Idaho together.
And that was the funniest thing. It was like, of course it was a package deal. Like all three of them were going to go there.
He was excited, I think, because his siblings were going with him.
Araya Makaba says Ethan's parents had decided to live in Idaho too. Makaba says when she heard Ethan had been murdered, she couldn't believe it.
I think the first thing I did was message Ethan. I was like, hey, you're okay, right? Like, this isn't real. And obviously didn't respond.
Reese Gardner scoured the internet for information.
And I just couldn't stop reading articles, and I just wanted to know what happened, and I wanted to know why.
But in lieu of answers, Gardner turned to tulips.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so sick.
Oh, it's gonna be so pretty.
He had an idea. Name one after Ethan.
I thought there's no better way to remember someone who had such a big part, a big role in those farms.
Because Reese called me and it was, hey, can this be done? And are you interested in doing it? And I was, yes, and hell yes.
But creating a new tulip is a long process. So instead, Miller suggested a mix of tulips that would be a perfect tribute to Ethan, yellow and white.
Yellow, of course, because go Vandals, University of Idaho, right? That's significant. And then white is an eternal color, right? And tulips come up in the spring. It is a symbol of hope.
With his parents' blessing, they named the mix of tulips Ethan's Smile.
Yeah, so this will be a nice yellow or white tulip here in about
4 months.
The trio planted thousands of bulbs in the state of Washington and sent a couple thousand more to the University of Idaho.
And it really is our hope that we'll be able to continue to plant and that anybody that wants to remember him will be able to have their own Ethan's Smile garden. It's a living legacy.
Now it is up to prosecutors to get justice for these young victims.
Well, that's perfect. That's a perfect way to honor Ethan's memory. I know that the family has the hashtag right now of what is it? What is the hashtag for Ethan? I'm like in my feelings right now. Like is it love like Ethan? Yeah, love like Ethan hashtag. And I think that's beautiful. And I know that a lot of the families, I think all of the families are doing scholarships. I know Ethan's fraternity is doing a scholarship in his name. The relationship between Maddie and Kaylee is one that few people get to experience in their whole lifetime. They were best friends since they were in 6th grade. And you could tell because of the vast of pictures. There's so many pictures of those girls together. I know back with my best friend, and when we were that age, you didn't take pictures. We have like no pictures together. I don't know why we never took any pictures, but you never, it was beautiful that the friendship that they had. And then Zaina, she has I don't know if you guys, maybe this is something I noticed because I have a prosthetic eye. I'm blind in one eye, but Zaina has the perfect eyes. She just has they're caring, and they're just the shape of them are just they're perfect. If you next time you look at a picture of her, make sure you check out how pretty and just her eyes are very soft, very genuine. They need to tear that house down and put up a tulip farm, a little tulip farm there. Or wildflowers or a little park, anything but that house. But they're going to make so much money by renting that house out again that I think the owner will probably just fix it up and rent it out again. And it's sad. But I think that people would want to stay there for it's not a good reason, but because of, what happened in that house. Just like they have the Lizzie Borden house up. You can go there and stay the night. Yeah, I've never been to a tulip farm. Now I want to go to one. I want to go to a poppy field in California because I have a boutique. It's called Poppy and Ari, and it's POPPI because I'm different. And so I've been wanting to go to a poppy farm. We go out there every year, and they're 4 hours from where we stay in LA. And so next year I'm gonna have to go. But yeah, I think that it wouldn't be nice. All the ghost hunters would love to. Yep, they would, Nicole Marie. You're so right. They would love to just be able to go in there and be like, or the psychics or whatever. Oh my Lord. I might have to just go there and buy the house. I just can't stand seeing that stuff. I wonder if they did sell it, if they ever sold that house, if people could just chip in and buy it and then just tear it down. Because this case is so big. I'm sure that there are plenty of people out there with money just laying around where they could they could buy this house and then just tear it down. Along the Grapevine, huge field of poppies. You can see them from the highway. Oh, do you live in California? Because I'm going to say in California, they have poppy stuff everywhere. My boyfriend is from there and he didn't realize that that's your flower, your state flower is the poppy flower. And so, every time we're out there, I see different other little things that are poppy flower inspired out in LA. The state might buy it and tear it down. Maybe, yeah, that would be nice. It would be nice if they could, Oh, you did? Oh, now you live in Cabo now. Oh, man. Whew. Man, both places would be nice. I bet Cabo's beautiful. I bet, Oh, I bet you the water is so beautiful, and I bet you it's just nice sandy beaches. Is it like the Pacific though? Kind of like over there? Like, is it the same water though? I think it's nicer down at Mexico. The water is than like, you know, the Pacific coast. Cause I grew up on the Atlantic Ocean side. So for me to go to see the Pacific Ocean, it was nice. Oh, you have a tulip festival there in May? Well, I'm in Ohio, so I could always travel there. I didn't know that. I'm not even a huge tulip fan, but now I am. But now I feel like I want to go see some tulips. I want to see the yellow and white ones. I bet you they're beautiful. Okay, looks like it's coming back on.
47 days after the murders of Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle, authorities apprehended the man they believed was responsible. We now know investigators had Bryan Kohberger in their sights early on, but kept it close to the vest. So in the early days, after the November 13th murders, frustration swept over Moscow, Idaho.
I think in this instance, people were expecting a pretty quick arrest in this case, and it takes time.
Police still have no suspect, weapon, or motive.
No arrests have been made and no suspects identified by police.
Investigators are asking the public to be patient.
Steve Gonsalves, father of 21-year-old Kaylee, was trying as best he could to deal with news no one expects.
Most things I'm prepared for. Most things as a dad you can handle, but something like that you just can't prepare for and you can't fix it. You know, just think if you do everything right by the book, something like this couldn't happen.
Did you have any sense who might have done something like this?
No, I didn't think anybody in inner circles was capable of interacting in her doing something that could even deserve something like that.
As news spread of the murders, so did shock in the college community, which had not seen a homicide since 2015.
Parents drove hundreds of miles to pick up their kids, to head home and stay home for the semester.
Matt Lovelace is a journalism professor at nearby Washington State University.
At this point, we don't know if they're going to come back for the spring semester there on campus. And so that same thing happened in both of our communities.
And so when parents send their kids off to school for something to happen like this, I think it's a parent's worst nightmare.
James Galliano is a retired FBI supervisory special agent and CBS News consultant.
It's a place, Moscow, Idaho, where violent crime really is not an issue.
As police started their investigation, they traced the victims' final steps. The day before the murders seemed to start ordinarily. Kaylee Gonsalves posted photos with her roommates and Ethan Chapin to her Instagram account with the caption, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day." That evening, Ethan and Xana attended a party at a frat house on campus. Kaylee and Madison were at a bar between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. They were then seen at that local food vendor, the Grub Truck. It is believed they all returned home by about 2 a.m. on November 13th.
So in examining the timeline, police know that the crime took place sometime in the early morning hours. There were also two other University of Idaho students who were inside the house when the murders took place.
It was later that morning that a call was made to 911 from one of the surviving roommates' phones to report an unconscious person. Police arrived at the house at 11:58 a.m.
Police find the victims on the second and third floor of the house in bedrooms. A horrific and a very large-scale crime scene, because you're going to be dealing with a number of different floors that need to be processed, the bedrooms where the crimes actually occurred, and then ingress and egress points. How did the alleged killer get inside the house? Through a front door, through a window? Those are all things police will be looking at.
No weapon has been located at this time. There was no sign of forced entry into the residence.
On November 16th, 3 days after the murders, the Moscow police held their first press conference.
We believe this was an isolated, targeted attack on our victims. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there.
Coroner Kathy Mobbitt issued her report on November 17th.
They were all murdered through stabbing with some kind of probably a larger knife.
She told police some of the 4 victims had defensive wounds, but none had signs of sexual assault. Police continued to work the case, aided by the Idaho State Police and the FBI.
I just believe that the Moscow Police Department probably just didn't have a lot of experience in working a homicide, especially one as heinous as this one.
After about 3 weeks with no arrests and what to the public appeared to be no real suspects, Steve Gonsalves grew more concerned that authorities weren't doing enough and that the murders would turn into a cold case. So he says he started working with his own team to investigate the murders.
We just thought, this is the time, let's get it out there and let's not let it get cold. Let's get as many resources as possible.
Did you have any sense whatsoever as to what a motive might have been for these murders?
Pretty girls and a handsome guy, I thought, there might be something to do with their, stalking them in the sense of that.
Meanwhile, names of possible people of interest were trickling out, including members of the community and acquaintances of the victims. But they all seem to be part of an unfounded rumor mill, many from online sleuths. Steve even had people come to him to prove they were not involved.
We had certain suspects take their shirts off in our kitchen to show if they had scratches. We tried to do everything in our powers to make sure that if we thought somebody was ruled out, we truly felt like, we looked at them.
Law enforcement would end up receiving thousands of tips, but the investigation, by outward appearances, seemed to be stalled. Nearly a month after the murders, on December 7th, police were seen packing up the victims' belongings to return to the families who had lost so much. It was the police chief behind the wheel of the U-Haul truck. That same day, a plea was made to the public. Police were interested in speaking with the occupant of a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra that looked similar to this, with an unknown license plate spotted near the crime scene around the time of the killings.
Today's update is the first descriptive tip that we've received in several days. Detectives now want to speak with anyone who was inside a white Hyundai Elantra that was near this home on King Road around November 13th.
We still believe there's more information to be gathered.
Pushing that out to the media, pushing that out to people on the internet, pushing that out so that people can look for either a potential suspect, person of interest, or a potential vehicle. That goes a long way towards running down leads.
Psoriasis really messes with you.
Try, hope, fail.
No one should.
Okay, yeah, rest in peace and rest in heaven to them guys. In Delaware, we have beautiful lavender fields and sunflower fields. Oh, we have sunflower fields in Ohio. I always say every year I'm going to take my picture in a sunflower field, and then I never do. But I bet it would be pretty too. I'm taking off my makeup while I'm talking to you guys because, my camera stopped working tonight, so I was like, why not? While we're on a commercial. I feel like I actually have some questions for you. So do you think that Bryan saw the picture of them the night that the picture that they took all together for Instagram? And I can't remember if it was Maddie or Kaylee put, I'm lucky enough to, to have these people, like these beautiful people in my life, like every day or something along those lines. I'm lucky enough to surround myself with people, these beautiful people, with every day. Do you think it was something like, do you think that could have been what set him off that day? Because he literally, traveled back and forth to that crime scene 12 different times, 12 different occasions he was there. Something that day triggered him to the point where he was like, it's happening tonight. It's happening tonight. And this is how it's going down. So I'm just wondering nothing that these people did, nothing that they did, and y'all know me, I don't think that, and I don't want it to come off like that, but I'm just wondering what set him off. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming, Teresa. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys being here. Had a little hiccup in the beginning with my camera not wanting to come on, but I was on for a minute. And I'll be back on tomorrow too. I just think that, I'm just wondering what happened that day in order for him to think. You think he was planning though? I think he planned. Yeah, I think he planned. I definitely think he planned it. The 12 times that he was going back and forth there. I think he wanted to do something in that house. I don't know exactly I don't even know if he knew exactly in the beginning what he was going to do. I think in the beginning it might have been he was going to go in and maybe just rob them, or maybe it was going to be something like he was going to do something to one of the girls, like SA, and then maybe he, that something changed and something flipped in his mind to go from, to go to murder. That's a big step for one person just to go to. How long have you been live? I have been live for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it's been a long live tonight, guys, but it's been nice. It's been really nice. You should take pictures in all kinds of the flower fields, TitaniumBuilt. I should. I'm gonna have to. We do have some nice little wildflower fields out in Ohio. Ohio has pretty stuff. We do have pretty stuff out here. Now the lighting, California. Now, if you want good lighting, just natural lighting, if you want to look good in anything, literally California. That's why people are so happy out there. Y'all take the greatest pictures. I'll have to put my picture up from California now. I'll edit my little avatar person. But yeah, so there she is. She's in California there. I loved California. Every time we go out there, I love it. This guy was almost 30 years old. He went to a different school and lived in a different town. What on earth was his connection to the bunch of random 20-year-old college kids? That's what I'm wondering. I'm thinking it was, I don't know what the connection was, but I think that they were what he wanted to be. And that's what I think it was, a jealousy thing. And that's what I think it is. It all boils down to, just them living in that house. It's a bigger home. It's not like a small apartment. Them driving nicer vehicles. I mean, I don't think that his vehicle was a bad vehicle, but, I just think that he just saw that. And then he might have even been stalking their social media. We don't really know for sure, because all the social medias that came out that were fake afterwards, after he was arrested, it's kind of hard to decipher the real from the fake. But here it is. Let me turn this back on for us.
It turns out that about 2 weeks before the police asked the public to be on the lookout for a white Hyundai Elantra, they had already shared that information with surrounding law enforcement. And on November 29th, a white Elantra was located by Washington State University police. The car was registered to Bryan Kohberger. CBS News learned that in mid-December, the Hyundai Elantra was tracked for several days by the FBI using easy-pass monitoring, fixed-wing aircraft, and ground support, as it was driven by Kohberger along with his father from Pullman, Washington, on that cross-country trip to the family's home in Pennsylvania.
Where are you headed?
On December 15th, the car was stopped twice in Indiana for those driving violations by the Indiana State Police and the Hancock Sheriff's Office.
So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh, you're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Both agencies said at the time of the stops, There was no information available on a suspect for the crime in Idaho, to include identifying information or any specific information related to the license plate state or number of the white Hyundai Elantra.
But do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
Police did not ticket Kohberger. They gave a verbal warning, and the trip continued home. And then Kohberger's holiday came to an abrupt halt.
A suspect is under arrest for the quadruple murder of 4 Idaho college students.
On December 30th, 2022, police made that announcement that Bryan Kohberger was under arrest for the murders. He was arrested at his family's home in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania at 3 a.m. with approximately 50 law enforcement officers on the scene.
There were multiple windows that were broken, I believe, to gain access, as well as multiple doors.
Authorities believe Bryan Kohberger acted alone.
Bryan was very shocked by his arrest. Bryan did not know why they were there, but he was aware of the case ongoing in Idaho.
Monroe County Public Defender Jason LaBar represented Kohberger in Pennsylvania as he was awaiting extradition to Idaho.
Bryan indicated to me that he was eager to be exonerated, that he was willing to go back to Idaho.
On January 3rd, at a hearing in Pennsylvania, Kohberger signed his waiver of extradition.
They're escorting him off the tarmac there.
And on January 4th, he flew to Idaho, where he is in jail, charged with the 4 murders.
All right. This is State of Idaho versus Bryan C. Kohberger.
On January 5th, Kohberger appeared in court in Moscow with his new public defender to hear the charges read against him. He has yet to enter a plea.
The maximum penalty for this offense, if you were to plead guilty or be found guilty, is death or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
That same day, that affidavit was released that laid out startling new details about the murder investigation. According to the affidavit, one of the surviving roommates actually saw the murderer and stood in a frozen shock phase. She is referred to as DM in the affidavit and told police that earlier she heard a female voice say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." And later, a male voice saying something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Later, she opened her door after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask. She described the figure as 5'10" with bushy eyebrows. The affidavit states that according to DM, the male walked toward the back sliding door and DM locked herself in her room. It was later in the morning when that call was made to 911 from one of the surviving roommates' phones to report an unconscious person. It is unclear what occurred in the hours before police were called. It is believed the murders took place between 4 and 4:25 a.m. Police say they discovered on the bed in Madison's room a knife sheath with a Marine insignia that looks similar to this one.
I would imagine that a crime scene as grisly and ghastly as this one, that there would have been DNA left by the perpetrator.
According to the affidavit, the knife sheath was processed and the Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA on the button snap. They were able to link it to DNA recovered from the trash at the Pennsylvania Kohberger family home. It is not clear what, if any, connection Kohberger had with the victims. However, the affidavit states that by using cellular phone data, police were able to place Kohberger's cell phone near the crime scene on at least 12 occasions before November 13, 2022. All of those occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours. Even with these new details, many questions remain. A newly issued gag order prohibits officials and others involved in the case from speaking about the murders. Also, authorities have sealed a search warrant that was carried out at Kohberger's home in Pullman, Washington.
This is one where you don't want a mistake. You don't want something to happen during this process that's going to give the alleged suspect an opportunity to beat the case.
Now, the case will work its way through the court system as parents who lost their children will be looking for answers.
We find the truth, you know, you get the truth, and then that'll be everything.
Prince Harry has an explosive new memoir coming out.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to blast that in your ears. I'm just going to look up, see if there's anything that we've missed. Also, if you could, since we have a large crowd in here tonight, we got 515 people. If you could smash that like button for your girl, that'd be so incredibly nice of you. I do go live every day. We do true crime. Normally I'm on camera, but we had a little mishap tonight with the camera there, so I'm not on camera tonight. That really stinks. But we have been going hard for 2 hours and 37 minutes, and let's see where our subscriber count is real quick since I have it up. So we are now at 3,470. We are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. We don't have to hit it tonight, but we're just trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. That way we can do another giveaway, and I get I get my first actually neon sign. So it's a little for me, a little for you. And that might be the end of the show. They'll probably have to come back with a couple minutes though. Just going to see if, whoops. Just want to see if there's anything that we've missed. Doesn't look like it. Okay. And I'll also look on Twitter to make sure. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a live at 8:15 tomorrow evening, or maybe 8:30. We're going to watch the News Nation. Bryan Eaton is going to do a News Nation special. So I really wanted to watch that with you guys. And do you guys think, let me see, actually. Oh, and that's what we were talking about in the chat too. So someone was asking about, I think it was it you? Oh, I didn't mean to share this one with you. I think it was, let me see, this might be, let me turn this up and then we'll talk about it.
You can see it in the stunned, silent faces of the kids. Faces that ask why without even speaking. Young eyes glisten, bathed in the glow of candlelight. A ritual all too familiar across America. The flowers, prayers, the vows to carry on. In Idaho, they hold on tight to each other and to the memories of those loved and lost.
Let the friends speak for me. Let them speak for me. Let the friends speak for me. Let them speak for me.
Life is so unfair and unpredictable.
For Xana Kernodle's friend Emily, the wound remains raw.
And it tears me apart knowing I can't hug her. So hold those you love closer. Hug them a little tighter and tell them you love them. We'll find justice for you. Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee, we love you all so much.
And for Ashlyn, Maddie Mogan's memory is still vibrant.
You truly will live on forever. Not only in my heart, but in the heart of so many people that were impacted by your beautiful smile, your grace, your patience, your open heart, and your craziness.
Hunter Johnson remembers a pal he could rely on, Ethan Chapin.
Ethan was always someone you could count on to make you smile and cheer up your mood. And I feel so lucky to have shared so many great memories with him.
But those who are older perhaps sense that pain that runs this deep never goes away. Kaylee's father, Steve Gonsalves.
Yeah, you don't heal from something like this. It's never going to happen. You're never going to be healed. You're never going to get through this. When they die, part of you dies. We're tired of all these type of crimes. We're tired of all this stuff. And we can rally around these terrible tragedies, and we're hoping that as a society, we come back stronger and we decide to not let this be accepted anymore. You know, that's what I hope for.
Okay, so that was 40-hour special. I'm glad we watched that. That was very informative, and it was very sad, but I knew it would be. I cried like a baby during the what was it? The candlelight vigil. I was trying to share the screen so I could put up a picture of them. But the candlelight vigil anyway, when I was on another panel when we did that, we watched it, and it was just so sad. So incredibly heartbreaking to see those, all the kids there from this college, and then the parents go on stage and talk about them. I lost it. I'm human, you know, so I did lose it, but they were gorgeous. Ethan was the cutest. Like, I just think that he was just like so adorable. And it looks like, I don't know if Ethan was the oldest out of the triplets, his siblings, but it looks like that he was, only because of his stature compared to his sister and his brother. They both look smaller compared to him. So I felt like he was like the big brother. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, they all are resting easy now, you know. And the suspect is in custody. So, you know, I mean, we can't be going we're going in the right direction. That's for sure. Let me check and see. Latest on item murders for NEG. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to play all that. Okay, so here we go. Oh, so I was right. Okay, so earlier, when we were talking about the affidavit, we were talking about it earlier when I first came on, and I said, the first thing I said when I came on is I didn't believe that the second page was a redacted page. It looked like it was like a photocopy of some sort, but I told you guys I wasn't sure exactly what kind of photocopy that I thought it was, because I'm not into that stuff. But it did look like it was a photocopy because it was backwards. Even the wording was backwards. So it says the updated affidavit on the court docket does not include the second blank page. It was just a mistake in the first one that was released. Looks like maybe a photocopy of the back of a page. And that's exactly what I said. So it's the back side of the first page. That's what I thought. Okay, that's exactly what I thought. But I wanted to bring it to you all earlier to see what you guys thought. And I guess we should have looked up Bryan Eaton. I haven't been on Twitter today. That's not like me either. And we'll go ahead and look up Ashley and see if she has anything under hers too. And then also I am going to be, someone said we caught Bryan just acting normal. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it did. Somebody said that was Bryan Eaton. I don't know why that made me laugh, but I needed it. The little possums or raccoons or whatever. So it doesn't look like we're missing anything. So tomorrow I am going to come on and do a live at 8:15 p.m. And then I'll be on Monday at 9:15 a.m. So if you guys are into true crime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I don't see anything really new that's out. Does anybody have any groundbreaking news that they've heard? because that happens on my channel a lot. So you guys should subscribe, even if it's just for that, because every time I go on a live, it seems like recently, like, well, not every time, but almost like at least a couple times a week, we have something groundbreaking happen while we're on the live. Bryan Kohberger, for example, he got arrested while we were doing a live. And you guys came and told me. I'm like, what? I mean, it was one of those. And they actually, another creator, I need to figure out who that was, did a compilation of all of the creators and our reactions to, you know, seeing Bryan get arrested. And it was just kind of like funny. Mine was kind of funny because it was just like, I was like, whoa, wow. I think it was just 2 words, but it was like, I was speechless. And you guys know me, I'm normally not speechless. So, and you're welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you guys joining me for a little bit of your evening. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for listening to me saying to subscribe to the channel and like the video all night. I don't have mods, so it's just me. Oh, but one more thing before I forget, I did want to say, Tomboy Charm, she said, did y'all figure out what order the victims were in? And I had told her, I thought that it was the order, you know, that was said in the docket. And so let me go back to the live because I was trying to see, she said she had someone that worked in, I think she was a lawyer. And she said that that was correct. So from what we may think that the order of people that when they were killed, this is the order that we think it may have went. And this is only because this is the order that the judge listed them in. And we have heard from lawyers and other people that work in, you know, that field, that they list them that way as like order of them and how they died. So the way the judge read off the names was Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xander Kernodle, Ethan Chapin. So take that with a grain of salt, but I just wanted to tell you guys that. Oh yeah, have a good night, everybody. So you guys have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. And don't forget to be kind to one another, you know, all those good things. And if you like the video and you appreciate today's case coverage, don't forget to like the channel and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys all in the next live. Bye, guys.